to be. What's up? All right. Good to see you guys. As usual, if you can, wrong channel. Too late. I always do that. I do it on my personal page. Hold on one momento. Okay, great. Let me know if you can hear me. That's like the usual, right? If you can hear me, just let me know in the comments. I noticed I was watching a Pedro Sauer video today. Pedro Sauer is such a great coach. I just love this guy. First of all, he's just the nicest guy. But he posted a video and he posted to his students and it's like, hey, stay positive, guys, whatever. And I noticed, I was like, oh, look, he does a thing too. Everybody has a thing that they do like with their hands when they're figuring out what to do on video. And he does an S grip. He does an S grip while he's talking, which is really cool. Jay Watson, hello, I can hear you. My man. All right, so Facebook can hear me, YouTube. It says a couple people are in here. If one of you has typeability and can let me know you hear me, that's great. I'm going to assume you can because I haven't had a technical difficulty in, well, I'm due in maybe a few days. Okay, so it's one of 7 now. So I'm going to start warming up in a couple minutes here. Just going to wait for people to arrive in the next moment. Hey, Nate, cool. And good to have you in this class, Nate. I know you missed the Kahoot we did with the kids. I still got to get a Kahoot going for the adults. So maybe next week we'll do trivia night. I want to do poker night. I want to do like a sort of a Kahoot with you guys. Would be essentially like a game night, trivia night. So all sorts of good ideas brewing. Anyway, Taylor. Yeah, Taylor's on YouTube. Taylor, do you hear me on YouTube? That's the question. And let me know. And let's start warming up otherwise, right? So I'm just going to start kind of moving my hands around. Wrists, hands, wrists, fingers, knuckles, ankles, toes. All right. Same thing on the other side. It's kind of like you're casting a spell. Okay. All right, open, close, right? And then move it up your arms a little bit until you're doing arm circles. Some arm circles. Other way. You know, I always go to my private Facebook and I start broadcasting from there. And then I'll be like, how did this massage school student I used to teach get in the Facebook group, in the students group? But next time I do it, maybe I will do it on my public page. I know that I have friends who do that, friends who run schools who just do it on their private page. Mark Cookrow, who's a fantastic, you guys should add him on Facebook, Cukro, Mark Cookrow, is one of Pedro Sauer's very, very good black belts. And I'll be sharing stuff that he taught pretty soon because I picked up a lot during this break with his live classes. And he just posts them on his personal page. Let's look left and right with our neck. Or find him on YouTube or find him on Facebook. Mark Cookrow is a fantastic business consultant and jiu-jitsu black belt. Very smart guy, very sophisticated, sneaky jiu-jitsu. Not a big guy, so he's got very technical jiu-jitsu. Some of the most technical jiu-jitsu besides Pedro Sauer, and he gets it from Pedro Sauer, that I've ever seen. Up and down. Okay, and then ear to shoulder. Ugh. I think I'm supposed to hear all these noises. Okay, and then let's just circle our head. We are gonna use our neck a little bit today, just a little bit. So observe it the other way now. Okay, cool. And then let's do knee circles, right? So we're just doing circles in the knees. Other way. Every other. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, hip circles. My knee. Hip circles. Yeah. Okay, good. So I gave you guys 2 days on the, who's that? Oh, nice. I gave you guys a couple days on the one fight scenario that we did, where we bumped and wrapped on a big round haymaker style punch. Now we're going to talk about if you square off with somebody and they throw a jab, like a straight punch at you, okay? And the most important thing about all of this is our distance management. So we need to know how to move, and we start with the drilling. And I'm just going to preface now by saying I'm going to explain like less today. That's my goal, explain less today and do more reps, okay? So when I do my footwork, when I start walking around, I'm going to change the camera angle for Facebook. Well, this is my footwork. When I move forward, I step with my forward foot. When I move backwards, I step with my back foot. When I go left, I use my left foot. Right, I use my right foot. Doesn't sound groundbreaking, but it's very easy to go take a step and cross your feet, and this is a goof. If you get hit right now, you're definitely going down, much less tackled or kicked or somebody runs up on you. So you do not ever want to have your feet crossed. So let's just do a little of that, okay? So when I say forward, it's your front foot first, okay? When I say back, it's your back foot first. Left, right, okay? And let's do the other good thing, which is have our hands up by our temples and have our weight a little bit on our back foot, a little on our back foot, so we can use our front foot as a weapon, as this sort of like front kick to keep a person at a distance. If you watch Pedro Sauer versus Lance Bachelor, Mr. Utah, it's a famous challenge match, Pedro Sauer's most famous match, and he uses this a bunch in the beginning. He actually really damages him with these kicks. So I recommend you watch Pedro Sauer versus Mr. Utah to see some of this in action. But my hands are at my temples, weight's a little on my back foot. Okay, now forward, left, right, back, left, back, forward, left, right, back, left, forward, back, forward, kick. Just make sure you're off your front foot. Back, left, back, right, forward, right, back, left, back, forward, kick. Easier leg free, right? That's what the kick is. Let you know if your weight's on your back foot like it should be. Okay, that's moving. But why do we move? We move to maintain a certain amount of distance. That distance is 2 arms lengths distance. I say this all the time. Let's say these are the arms and these are the people. Right? So 2 arms lengths distance, neither person can hit or kick each other. If somebody wants to walk in so they can hit you, if you back up, they can't hit you and they have to continue to walk in. So our management of space is actually the entire strategy. There's moves, there's techniques, but distance management is the entire strategy. And if you watch the first UFC, you watch what Hoist did, or if you watch any jiu-jitsu guy in a street fight, that's what it's about. It's about managing the distance. So we stay away. We don't enter the agreement to just stand and bang with somebody, because who knows who's more strong, accurate, trained, whatever. So why get in that fight if you can back up? And then when they close, when they move in, you back up. And when they pop the bubble, you have this bubble of space. When they pop it, you run in, right? So they're going to charge you at a certain point. Back you up a little bit. They charge, you charge. And so we're either apart or together. That's the whole thing. So let's do this. Today we're going to clinch on a straight punch. Straight punch for your opponent might look like this. He's got to cover a bunch of space because of the distance you're at. Is that a good jab? No, a good jab, you don't go very far and you pull your arm back right away for people with striking experience, right? But we're not in that range. I'm not here. I'm like over here. So it's going to be like a forward lunging strike, which is why I'm going to have time to see and react correctly. And the reaction is just a couple inches. It's just going to be this. I'm just going to move forward and get my head outside their strike, which is coming straight at my head. Okay, so let's just do a few punch slipping clinches. Right, so I don't slip the punch and stay here. I slip the punch and I close the distance and I grab on. Okay, and that's us going from back here, and then they lunge. That's us connecting. Is connecting to the person. Okay, I hold my wrist. A gable grip is fine. Both are fine. Okay, so I'm facing somebody. I'm a little bit on my back foot. They're kind of far away. When they throw that straight punch, I'm here. Right? I slip. I'm not trying to hit it. And maybe I make contact with it. I know Pedro Sauer does. Hoist never did. Hoist taught us, like, you know, don't waste any time laterally. You want to be moving forward. So just go around the thing and then grab it. Okay? Go here. Okay? Don't go here because it's hard to move forward and I'm wasting energy, right? So just enough to slip that punch. So, you know, use your imagination. You have to imagine this punch is being thrown at you, and that's going to help your training. Okay? We're here. I forget I'm on my back foot to start a little bit, and then. So we're going to get a bunch of reps today. Slip that punch and come in. I would get good at one side. If you fight regular, you know, if you're right-handed and you want your big strong hand to be in the back, that's most common, that's fine. So I don't need you to switch sides like this. But then again, you know, in class sometimes I talk about if they switch their stance or if they're southpaw, you do want to switch your stance to match. But for today, let's get really good on one side. Let's get really good on one side. So, right? I'm imagining the punch. The part you don't see is what I imagine, and it's what you should be doing too. You should be imagining the punch. So I'm here. Okay, that clinch motion is something you can practice at home. I'm just slipping a straight punch and grabbing on. What kind of straight punch? Again, it's the most important part of the whole thing because I don't want you to think I'm teaching you something unrealistic. If I'm close to you and I just throw a punch and that can hit you, if just that can hit you, you're too close. But if I have to go like this to hit you because you keep backing away, that's our strategy. All right, so John Gavin, good to see you, brother. Okay, now, what are we going to do now that we grabbed onto the guy? We're going to do the best takedown in jiu-jitsu. What's that? It's the sitting rear takedown. Now, I've slipped his punch. And that puts my head, if somebody just threw this punch and I bring my head through here, one thing I don't want is them to catch my head. They might catch my head in a guillotine here. They threw this punch. I came outside the body and I wrapped around. But what I don't want is them to wrap a guillotine on my head. So I'm going to add one little thing to the clinch that we're doing, which is this. I'm going to slip that punch, come in, grab onto the guy, and a little bit, I'm going to dig my head before I take a rear clinch, in which I should be listening to their low back, holding onto their hips and hanging my weight. That's where we're going. But before I get my head low, before I be low, I don't want them wrapping guillotine. So I'm going to make sure that my head digs so that I fully turn the corner and get behind them. I don't want to be with my body in front of them totally and just my head behind them because that's guillotine territory. Okay, so it may be a small addition, but let's do it a few times. Again, that addition is I slip the punch and I come in and then I'm digging with my head, digging around the corner. Okay, digging my way in there like a dog does when he wants to get under a pillow, just moving the thing, right? Okay. I might have been quarantining my dogs too long. Yeah, here, slip the punch, come in, and then as soon as your head, any part of your head is behind him, you want to dig so that the rest of you can come behind, so you don't get guillotined. Here, go. Okay. So now that we've gotten behind them, like I said, we want to drop our weight, hold on to their hips. We're heavy on our feet. Well, anyway, we're hanging our weight. We may not be heavy on our feet because we're hanging off of them. but we are heavy. We're heavy on their feet. That's really what we're doing. Increasing the weight that they're carrying on each foot, so it's harder for them to walk around. It starts to be like molasses and like, get off me, man. That's what we want. So we slip, turn the corner, grab and hunker and hang. Okay, so let's add that piece. Let's just do a few like that. Right? Slip. Don't forget to use your head. Cut around the corner and then sort of hang. Okay. Now the best takedown is jiu-jitsu. When I'm standing beside somebody and my head is behind them. So let's see. Okay, what's the best way to do this? I'm the bad guy, and the good guy's back here. I just do this punch. Someone's here, and it's me. And I'm holding on to him here. I'm going to do this. The feet are on the floor, kind of in front of me, and I'm going to step beside one of them. His feet might be here. Well, let's say I slipped the punch and I came around. So his feet are probably here and here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of my, and they're facing this way. I'm going to put one of my feet next to their feet. The other foot goes across behind, blocks their heel, or you can just be here. So it's either this or this. And I'm already hanging my weight. I'm going to put my butt as the third point on the ground of the 3 points, which are my feet and butt. I'm going to change the Facebook angle a little more. You can see this, right? I'm here, and I'm going to sit and turn. And I'm landing. I do a squat with the one leg, and I land on the outside of my hip so that I'm turning, so that the next thing that happens is I throw my leg over. Okay. What if someone tries to grab you or is following you? What if someone tries to grab you or is following you? Yeah, well, so maybe that's as a different self-defense scenario. That's my question to you about your question. Your question is, what if someone grabs or is following you? If you mean during this motion, let me know. Or if you mean, no, just generally, let me know. Okay. Because that might be a different self-defense situation, which we'll definitely might be happy to cover. So I'm going to slip the punch, grab the guy. I put my foot next to his feet. The other one goes across behind. And when I sit, I'm sitting, doing basically a squat with the foot that's on the floor, turning, landing on the outside of this foot, and that's already turning me, throwing me over to mount. This one for me is like a little confusing, more confusing slow. I put my feet next to him, and I sit. Okay. This should be, hold on to my guy, slip the punch, foot next to their feet are right here. Foot next to his foot, other foot goes behind. I sit here. It's here. And I sit here just to scrub that video for you. It's here. And my feet are 2 points in a line, 1, 2. My butt's the third, so I have to turn. And I want to land pinky toe down. And that'll put me on top. The reason I say this is the best takedown in jiu-jitsu is because I'm out of striking range because my ear's on their back, so my head's in back. I love a rear clinch takedown. Anything like that's going to be one of my favorites because you're not going to get hit while you're doing it or while you're setting it up. Second reason it's good is it's just a drag down. It's just a stupid old drag down that like a kid could do to their parent if they knew how to like sort of just block the foot and make the parent fall. And sometimes they do it by accident, right? So it really works no matter size, and it really works without you getting hit. And those are the two big reasons that I love this takedown. So I'm going to do this from here, slip that punch. I grab my person, put my foot next to his foot. The other one blocks his other foot. And now I sit, turn, and I get the mount. So let's do a few of them. Slip the punch, grab my guy, and here. Slip the punch. So if I'm slipping with my right hand and leaning right, it's my left ear that's going to go on their back. If my left ear's on their back, it's my left foot that I plant next to their foot. It's my right foot that goes over there. So my left ear's on their back. My right foot is the sort of Charlie Chaplin one over here. And then I sit and turn. Slip. My left ear's on the back. So my left foot sets up, right foot sets up. Sit, turn, and take mount. Okay, so slip, grab your guy, take him down. Take him down. Okay. Slip, grab. Left ear's on his back, so my right foot is across. Sit and turn. Should put you right in mount. You go the other way. I think that would make my takedown easier to see. I slip, hit the corner, take the back. My left ear's on their back, so my setup is here. Yours may not be as fast yet as like, you may have to think through each step, and that's fine. Take your time, go your pace. But the intention for me right now is give you guys rep time. Yeah, at least with your head behind the guy, you do have multiple options to take him down. There's all kinds of simple trips you could do. Okay. We're going to get back to the clinch, to the slip and the clinch and the takedown. But let's do the ground stuff now. So we'll start down here. I'm going to give this a little lower angle to this Facebook crowd here. Okay. All right. So I mounted a guy. What do they look like though under my mount? I might have a very, in general. Okay, good. We'll answer that question later. It's okay. Takedown. I just stepped over. What does the guy look like? Well, the guy just threw a punch, got taken down, and he's probably here. I probably got a regular mount on a sideways guy. He's on his side. So what we're going to want to do to a person who looks like this, so freeze frame this image, when I'm the top guy, is use my chest to flatten him out. Just a rolling pin. My chest, just a rolling pin to flatten this guy out. And then I'm going to submit to you that I believe that if we flatten somebody out who's laying on their side, he's facing this way, so I get in front of him, squish him down, that there's some likelihood that what happens is, as I flatten him out, he's going to go to push me off, use the momentum to try to push me off, which will bring us to one of our fundamental mount maintenance movements, which is to hook and post, right? So I just got mounted. I stepped over. I'm going to flatten him, and he's probably going to push me this way, which means I'll have to hook his head and post my hand on the ground. Now it doesn't matter how strong he is or how long his arms are, or tall, short, he is strong. I should be able to pull myself back to center using his neck here. Do not miss the neck because the hand's not enough. He could get out that space. He can push me harder and get out. Okay, so I just got to mount. Flatten your person out. Be ready for them to push you sideways. And when you center again, let's do one on each side. We did like a couple extra last night. Let's just do one on each side today. I'm mounted. I flatten them out. Hook and post. And when you go to center, hook and post the other way. Okay, that's them pushing me, using my momentum. And predictable. I think that's probably something that would happen. Push, go this way, boom. And now they give up and I'm mounted. Mounted. Okay, so a couple more times of that. I'm mounted, I flatten them. They push me, I hook and post, square up. Again, flatten them, they push me, I hook and post, and back to here. Use my chest to flatten them, they push. They go with my momentum in that direction, and I'm back to here. Let's do it one last time. I flatten the person on their side. They push, I catch the neck. And I pull myself back to center with that. They push me the other way, and now I'm back to my regular mount. Okay. Having pushed me to the side and it having failed, they may try pushing me up next, and that's when we're going to go for a standard armbar. Right? So our finish today for our scenario, for our full scenario, which includes for me always a connection, a takedown. Right? We connected with them, slipped the punch, grabbed them. We did a takedown, a rear takedown. A dominant position, we were put right in mount, which is great. We did a little mount maintenance, okay? And a submission. So now it's submission time for our full scenario, which would have all of those. Connection, takedown, dominant position, submission. So for mount, they push me to the side, and I'm squared up, and they push straight up on my chest. They push straight up with two arms. I'm going to encircle one arm. So some of my fingers are kind of pointing at me. Draw a circle around. Now I do this. Slide my knee up on the open elbow side. Slide that knee up. Turn the other foot over. Now you can see the bottom of my foot. I'm going to step out, put my hand outside my leg. So that's my base, and I'm going to lace their arm. By lace their arm, I mean interlock our arms. Their top arms right here. Boom. And now I'm going to lean this way to get my leg over their head for the arm bar. Okay. So arm bar, probably not new to most of my students, but if in case it's a new movement, push up, encircle, bring your knee up, bring your foot up, right? And that might be one at a time for you. It might be knee, foot right now. That's okay. Put your hand outside your foot for base, lace their arm, lean this way, which will help you bring the leg over in one shot. Sometimes people feel inflexible and like they have to do this to get it around. And I would say that's number one issue for new people. If you can instead lean way over here, use your head as a counterweight. Look, my leg is super light. If you can get in a car without like lifting your own leg in or hopping it in, meaning you just sit down and then bring your leg in, you should be able to do this movement. Okay, so it's not a flexibility thing. We're in mount, they push. Couple arm bars. So practice the arm bar as we just described, right? So it's repping time. Knee and foot. Base, lace, lean and sit. Right? Knee and foot, base, lace, lean and sit. I'd recommend only do one side on this until it's very comfortable. Okay. Hopefully you got 10 or 15 in that period of time, right? If it's new to you and you're like, well, I got 3. That's good too. You know, you have this video to refer back to, right? And you can do more later. Okay. Let's look at the whole move, the whole series. Scenario, as it were. Okay. From here, I'm gonna slip the punch, dig with my head, clinch. If my left ear's on their back, that's the one I just slipped. Left ear's on their back, then my left foot sets up. My right foot sets up like straight, and I turn. And I take them down. Now I'm in mount. I'm going to flatten them out. And they might push me to the side once or twice. But when I square up in the mount here, they push straight up. And I catch my arm bar. Okay? That's our whole scenario. Now do it 10 times, right? Let's do it 10 times. Okay? That was 1. 2. 'Push up. 3. Flatten them out. They push. They push the other way. They push straight up. That's 4. I'm terrible at counting. So if I get anything wrong, let me know. Flatten them out. Expect the push. Right over here. 5. That's 5. That way. Well, then I won't be facing you. That's a slip. Keep them down. Flatten them out. 6, I think. Okay, flatten them out. Then they push. 7. Flatten them out. They push. 8. 1, 2, 9. Last one. What is the last one I'll do that we'll have time for? Flatten them out. And they push. They push again. Okay. So this second fight scenario, we did 2 this week, 2 days of each, is another really good. This calls on simple movements to address probably some of the very most common issues you face. And it deals with the other kind of punch that somebody might throw from outside your bubble. Round punch. Earlier this week, we dealt with a round punch with a bump and a wrap. Straight punch, we slipped this week, grabbed on, took them down. Okay, those are the 2 kind of punches you'd see. Most commonly, somebody's mad at your face and they throw a punch at your face, trying to maybe knock you out or shut your mouth. Those are the 2 punches you're going to probably see: a straight punch or a round punch. And very simple movements that we did. They might just take a little practice using the explanation, possibly from this video, which is now forever. It's on YouTube. You can check it out here for just like a little better, bigger camera angle. And then it's also on Facebook for our students there. So thanks so much for joining me. Katie's going to pick up yoga in a couple minutes. And she knows that you guys like a couple minutes break in between. So take your break, grab water, unwind, maybe stretch. Stretching once you're warm is a good plan. And thanks for joining me. All right. And we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.